Hello everyone and welcome. Just Zach this time. My local store was a couple days late in getting Guardians of the Galaxy in, but I managed to pick up a whole feed plus 20 more packs in the off chance of trying to get a third super rare out of this whole mess. And so I thought I would go ahead and record a little pack opening. I think in the interest of trying to record the stats for the gravity feed, we're going to set aside the 20 packs and open those at the end so that we know for sure what all came in the feed itself. Some people seem to like the statistics for that. So we'll try and go quickly as we can. I have seen some spoilers for this, but I don't remember all of them. So some of it will be a little bit of a surprise to me, and see what we come up with. All right. Pack number 1. Alright, don't know the dice yet. I'm sure I'll figure it out pretty quickly. Looks like we have a common mantis and a rare spot. Oh, a rare right off the bat. Aftershock, draw a die from your bag, add it to your prep area if it has a purchase cost less than 4, otherwise return it to your bag. Interesting. So, go ahead and try and keep some kind of organization going. Sorry about my lamp here. I'm not sure. Maybe I can do it like this. There we go. All right, dice over there, and looks like a Groot die. It's the common Groot, force of nature. While he's active, Guardians cannot be targeted by global actions, global abilities or action dice. And global pay 2 shields, gain 1 life, only once per turn. And a foil common Quasar. If Quasar attacks and is not blocked, you may pay a bolt. If you do, add Quasar to your prep area instead of moving into the use pile. A lot of interesting stuff in this set. Alright. So it looks like we've got a common Madam Mask. Character dice cannot be targeted by global abilities, and an uncommon stick with the call-out keyword. Alright. Okay, that's definitely a Rocket Raccoon, and oh, probably a Cosmic Cube there. I've seen some rare Cosmic Cube. We'll see what we come up with. Alright, when Rocket Raccoon attacks, he gains fast. So it looks like only when he's attacking. And uncommon Cosmic Cube. First action die purchases turn cost 1 less. Each other different action die cost 3 less. About time we got some cost reduction in Modern, huh? Alright. Let's see. We've got a Cosmo Space Dog, the common. When fielded, I can KO him. If I do, present all damage. Interesting ability. And a rare Nebula. When you draw this from your bag during your clear and draw step, you may send 2 other dice drawn this turn from your bag to your used pile. If you do, draw 2 extra dice. So kind of a continuation of that Rip Hunter ability, except you have to draw her instead of her just being active in the field. Alright, that's an Iron Man. This looks almost exactly like, I guess there's a little bit of purple in this one, but that face looks exactly like the one from Civil War. And what is that one? Oh, but it's not even Iron Man, it's Ironheart. Yeah, that purple is pretty subtle there. Ironheart the common, just as 5 cost bolt that has call out. And the common Yondu. When fielded, just deal 1 damage to all opposing character dice. Right, probably think of some shenanigans to do with that one. Right, yeah, I do not know the dice for this one very well, and I'm not super familiar with Marvel in general. Alright, so this one is Ghost Rider, that makes sense. Common, while active during your clear and draw step, if he's the only character in your field zone, draw an extra die. Alright, hard to have only one character. Sword Agent, uncommon, is the ally keyword, and when they attack, they get +1 if another character die is attacking. Could be interesting as a cheap 2-cost Fist ally. Alright, that is a Thanos, and ooh, I know that die is nowhere. Let's see if we got the one everyone's talking about. Common Thanos, I Am Become Death. All other villain character cards are considered blank. Definitely heard about this one on the Prep Area podcast. Excited to see if I can put it to use. And then, oh, it's not even, I got confused. Sorry about that. That is Kiln. Uncommon. Randomly select a character, it's continuous. Randomly select a character die from each player's field and place them under Kiln until the Kiln leaves the field zone. When you or a character die you control damages your opponent, send this to you as well. Randomly select a character die from each player's field zone. I wonder how you would randomly do that. I guess that'll have to come up in some games. Guess it does kind of look like the nowhere. I guess it's a different color die though. Alright. Interesting. I do want to use that common Kiln, which I'm sure I'll get at some point on Satchel, but that is the uncommon. Alright. So what do we got here? We've got Yellow Jacket, common. Just blank text. And the uncommon Mantis, foil version. When KO'd, draw a die from your bag and add it to your prep area. Alright, not bad. Okay, another Thanos and another Cosmic Cube. Alright, this time it is the common Cosmic Cube. During your clear and draw, when you draw this die from your bag, you may send it and any other dice you've drawn this turn out of play. For each dice sent out of play, draw a die. Kind of similar to that Nebula ability. Could be interesting. And another version of the common Thanos. Alright, another Thanos, and looks like another Sword Agent. Alright, common Sword Agent, just +1 defense for every other sidekick die in either player's field zone. So that could get pretty good defensive buff. And, oh, a foil rare Thanos. Well, that's an interesting one. Look at the foil on that, too. While he's active, each time you field a villain, it deals damage to your opponent equal to its attack, then you move it to your use pile. So, definitely some fun stuff to come up with that one. I might have to make a team for that one to play against James. Just constantly fielding some high attack villains. Alright, that is a pretty interesting pull. Alright, we've got that's Gamora and Daisy. So, Daisy Johnson, common, Aftershock, deal 2 damage to all other character dice. That's pretty good removal there. And an uncommon Gamora, when fielded, if you purchase a different Guardian's character die this turn, add it to your bag, or on the level 1 phase, add it to your prep area. So, the Guardian's affiliation getting pretty, I mean, that makes sense, right? For the Guardian set. I haven't seen all the Guardians yet, but I'm sure you come up with a pretty interesting team. Alright, that one should be Angela and Adam Warlock. So the common Adam Warlock, while Adam Warlock is active, your character dices when field effects trigger twice. Alright, definitely a lot been talked about this card. I'll have to come up with my own version of what could be the best with that. And it is the common Angela. While active, your opponent's when attacks abilities deal no damage. So this is what people are talking about as the sort of new answer to Mask Ring, or any kind of ring, really. I guess it's one cheaper than Wonder Woman, so it's got that going for it. Alright, so that's that Ironheart, and that'll be Drax. Alright, the common Ironheart again. This one just has Call Out, with a little bit of reminder text about that. And the uncommon Drax, while active, once per turn, if another character die is KO'd, Drax gets +3 attack. Alright. Lots of ways to KO characters these days, but only once per turn. Okay, that'll be Daisy Johnson again, and it is the common, just Aftershock, deal 2 damage, and the uncommon Black Widow with Deadly. All right, definitely looking forward to trying this out with Black Bolt. Just for one cheaper. See if that actually works. All right, looks like Thanos again and Captain America. Alright, it is the common Captain America with Intimidate, but he can only use Intimidate on villain character dice. I feel like another character had that same ability. I can't remember at the moment. Alright, and then the uncommon Thanos. So that's all three Thanos already. When fielded, name an opposing character, replacing all previous choices. While Thanos is active, the named character cannot be fielded. While Thanos is active, when the named character die is put into the use pile, Thanos deals your opponent 4 damage. Alright, so you shut down a character, and then if they have to put it into use because they draw it, it's going to deal them damage. Maybe with that rare Nowhere, we can start to get some 7 costs out again. Alright, so we've got Angela again and Agent Venom. So we've got the common Agent Venom with Call Out, and if he targets a villain character with Call Out, he cannot be KO'd. So, pretty interesting. And, oh, look at that. We got our first super rare. Super rare Angela. So she has Infiltrate, and your character dice with, while she's active, your character dice with Infiltrate cannot be blocked and deal no combat damage. So, you're going to guarantee do that Infiltrate damage, but they're not going to really do any hurting if they're blocking. So, alright. I'll probably have to play around with that one. So, one super rare. Let's see if we can get another one here. Okay, we've got, I think that's Nova Corps uniform. We got Beta Ray Bill. Common, cannot be blocked by sidekicks or shield character dice. Pretty expensive. There are definitely some cheaper characters that can't be blocked by sidekicks, but maybe the shield characters will be useful. And the rare Nova Corps uniform. When fielded, equipped to a character, when that attacks, it deals 1 damage to all opposing character dice, and if it ever leaves the field zone, send this die to the use file. So you can give any character the rare Poison Ivy ability. I like the idea that you can get equipment from different sets on different characters. I wish they would do that with the D&D stuff. Alright, that'll be Stick and, let's see, Stick, common, can't be blocked by character dice of a lower level. Alright, and the uncommon Collector. When fielded, you and target opponent each select one of your unpurchased dice. It looks like I just saw something about this on the Facebook group. It looks like they're both your unpurchased dice. Choose one and place the selected die in your use pile and remove the other die from the game. So, looks like you're getting one of yours, but your opponent gets to remove one. Alright, this time we have got, it's hard to see the dice. Alright, this time we have got Quasar. Common Quasar again, you saw that one at the beginning. And the rare Dum Dum Dugan. While he is active, prevent all damage dealt to your sidekick dice by character abilities or global abilities. Could maybe find its way onto some kind of dark side team to make sure that your sidekicks stick around. Interesting. Alright. And we've got a Yellow Jacket and a Drax. So common Drax this time. When you have a different Guardian character die, you may field him for free. Which is good because his stats from, these are the same symbol. I think it's the same die from the Spider-Man set, but his fielding can get pretty expensive. Uncommon Yellow Jacket. When he attacks, you may spin him down a level, and that makes him unblockable. So it looks like he would do either 2 or 3 damage if you did that. Not bad if you need to get a couple damage in, but maybe you could find a way to spin him up afterwards. Okay, well that's definitely Nowhere. And the other one is Star-Lord. Of course, common Star-Lord, when fielded, deals 1 damage to target player. So just straight up ping damage, and it is the uncommon Nowhere. Forecast, you may spin all character dice in your reserve pool to level 3. You may field level 3 character dice for 1 this turn instead of their printed fielding cost. So yeah, pretty interesting if you need that top face and you don't want to pay for it. Okay, so that'll be Black Widow, and oh, looks like this guy has mutton chops, but it looks like it's just a weird printing error on that die. These two faces, that'll be an interesting one to hold on to, and it's Hulk, of course. Common Black Widow, who has Call Out. So when she attacks, target character die is the only character die that may block her. And this is the uncommon Hulk. When one of your character dice is KO'd, spin Hulk up 1 level. When he attacks, you may spin him down a level. If you do, he deals 2 damage to each opposing character die. So, kind of a throwback to the Green Goliath Hulk, but with a slightly different ability there. Sometimes you got to come at it from both sides. Nope. Alright. Some new dice this time. Oh, we got another group. Seen that one. And we've got Norman Osborn, the common. While Norman Osborn is active, your villain character dice cost 1 less to field. I feel like there's some way to stack that with World's Finest Harley Quinn. Probably make some pretty cool villains. Alright, and then we've got the uncommon Groot. Foil is pretty cool on that. While he's active, the first time damage is dealt to you each turn, reduce it by 1. Or, on his level 2 or 3 phase, reduce it by 2, and still has that same gain 1 life global ability. Alright. Kind of like the Iron Man from APX ability. Or is that... I think that's gain 1 life, actually. Alright. We have got another Quasar. The common Quasar again. I think we've only seen the common Quasar so far. And we've got an uncommon Captain Marvel. When KO'd, gain 1 life. We haven't seen that ability since Yu-Gi-Oh! Another Nowhere die, and another Yondu. So, common Nowhere this time, continuous. Your character dice costs 1 more to purchase and are placed below this die. Anytime you can use a global, you may send it to your use pile to add all dice or neither to your prep area. So, kind of like a Rip on his chalkboard you could use every turn, or more than once a turn, but you have to get this out in the field first. Alright, and then the common Yondu, once again, I've seen that one before. Alright. And we have got the common Beta Ray Bill again. And the uncommon Mantis. When Mantis is KO'd, draw a die from your bag and edge your prep area. We have seen that one. Alright, another Venom and another Ghost Rider. Alright, common Agent Venom again. Call out, and then if he uses a villain, he can't be KO'd. And the uncommon Ghost Rider. If Ghost Rider is your only character die in the field, he may block 2 character die. That may be the most useful ability I've ever seen for a only character die in the field. Typically, you wouldn't want to have only one. Alright, we've got Ironheart, and we have the Space Dog. So, common Ironheart again, with Call Out, and the uncommon Cosmo Space Dog, which gives other Guardians character dice +1 defense. More Guardian love. Alright, get some new ones. Well, we got Rocket Raccoon again. And we have got Moondragon. Common Moondragon, when one of your character dice is targeted by an action die, spin Moondragon up 1 level. Doesn't say your opponent has to do it, so it looks like you could probably do something about that yourself. And then the rare Rocket Raccoon, when Rocket Raccoon is KO'd, Rocket Raccoon deals 1 damage to target opponent. I feel like it's not the one we saw earlier. No, I guess not. Rider, and Dum Dum Dugan. I have to admit, I do not know this character. Common Dum Dum Dugan, when he would be KO'd, you may KO a sidekick die in your field zone instead and clear all damage from him. Oh, so for a 2-cost, maybe he's got a little sticking power. And the rare Ghost Rider, that should be all 3 Ghost Riders now. Underdog, it's nice to see that coming back. When fielded, draw a die from your bag and add it to your prep area. So Ghost Rider is all about being the only one in the field, or at least being in the field with fewer characters than your opponent in this case. I think for 3-cost mass, we could do the same thing with Zatanna without Underdog, but I guess the stats are better. Alright, another Space Dog, and that'll be our first Squirrel Girl. This time we have the foil common Cosmo Space Dog. So we've seen that one before. When fielded, you may KO him. It seems so sad. And we've got the common Squirrel Girl who has Infiltrate. Might be like our first just pure Infiltrate character. Now that we've got Angela, we're going to need to draw some more of those. Right, Black Widow and Mantis. So, Mantis common. Seen that one? Oh yeah, that's just when fielded, draw a die from your bag, add it to your prep area for 1 cheaper than Ghost Rider. And the rare Black Widow. Looks like there might be a little weirdness on the printing on this one. The Infiltrate looks a little dark. While she's active, when your character dice use Infiltrate, they deal an additional damage. Well, that'll pair very nicely with our super rare. I think a T might be forming here. Whoa, double. So, 2 of the same character here. It is both Nova Prime. We've got the common and the uncommon. So the common, when fielded, prevent all damage dealt to this die. Okay. And the uncommon, when Nova Prime blocks, I may pay 1 to prevent all damage to it. Sensing a theme here with the Nova Prime. Let's see if we can't move those down a little bit. That's a bit better. Alright, another Angela and another Gamora. Okay, common Gamora. While your opponent has any active villain character dice, Gamora gets +1 attack and must attack if able. So, and then the uncommon Angela, who has Infiltrate, and when she uses Infiltrate, deal an additional damage. So, kind of like Black Widow, but just for herself. Alright, we've got Captain America, we've got Agent Venom, we've got the common Captain America, he's got Intimidate, he may only use Intimidate on villains, we've seen that one, and we've got the uncommon Agent Venom this time. When he attacks, he gets +2/+2 if he's the only attacking character die. Reminds me of the old Wolverine, just a little bit not as good. You give him unblockable, though. That could be a 7/7. That's pretty good. Alright, we've got Yellow Jacket, and we haven't seen the other one yet. That is Madam Web. When Madam Web blocks the common, when Madam Web blocks a villain character die, she gets +2/+2. Yeah, that's the problem I have with those villain-focused teams. There's a lot of villain hate out there. That might not be the best one, but it's still something. Alright, common Yellow Jacket. Foil this time, but still no text. Alright, we've got a Hulk and a Hulk. Although, definitely going to have to stick with the die that's got the sideburn on it in this case. Alright, which ones do we have here? We've got the, oh look at that, we've got the common and the rare. So the common, just a blank test, 6 cost, but man, those fielding costs. 1 for a 6/6 or a 7/7 or an 8/8. You're just always going to get to field them for 1. Maybe you have a way to make your Avengers field for 1 less. Oh, that would just be gross. Alright, and then the rare has got Overcrush, and when he uses Overcrush, he may deal the additional damage to a character die instead of to your opponent. So you have the option of doing a bunch of that 8/8 overcrush damage to your opponent, or maybe using some removal if you need it. I think that's all 3 Hulks now. Alright, oh, we got a Guardians pack here. We've got Groot and we've got Rocket Raccoon. So we've got the common Groot. You've seen that one. This one's not foil this time. And we have got the uncommon Rocket Raccoon. When Rocket Raccoon is KO'd, deal his attack to target character die. And his attack is 2, 3, 4, it looks like. So that's not nothing. Alright, that would be Sword Agent. And oh, I know we saw that one, but blanking on it. We'll get there in a second. Alright, Sword Agent common. We saw that one, gets defense. And Collector, that's it. This is the common this time. We've seen the uncommon. Well, the Collector is active. Whenever you field a villain character die, draw a die from your bag and add it to your prep area. It's almost like the set is daring you to make an all-villain team. Especially if we could get that super rare Norman Osborn. I have to start playing Casey Jones more often. And we've got Star-Lord, we've got Angela. We've got the common Angela, that should be all 3 of them. We've actually seen this one already. When attacks abilities deal no damage. And the uncommon Star-Lord has cool art on this one, I have to say. This one has just infiltrate. So if anyone, I'm trying not to go through the keywords because I feel like they've been talked about a lot, but infiltrate means if they go through unblocked, they, instead of dealing their whole damage to their opponent going to the use pile, they deal 1 damage and then they just come right back to the field. So it's a way of dealing damage but keeping blockers. Alright, we've got Ghost Rider and Sword Agent again. This is the common Ghost Rider, foil this time. If he, during your clear and draw step, if he's the only character in the field zone, draw an extra die. So I guess if you start your turn with only him in the field, that could be pretty good. And then the common Sword Agent again. Alright, we must be getting close to the halfway point because we're seeing some repeats now. Quite a lot of them anyway. Alright, we have got Gamora and Norman Osborn. So, common Gamora, we've seen this one. Villain character dice, if your opponent has any villains, she gets +1 and must attack. And the common Norman Osborn makes them 1 less to field. Right, we got another Angela die. And we've got a Captain Marvel. We've got common Angela. You saw that one recently. And then the uncommon Captain Marvel again, that if she's KO'd, gain a life. Alright, we've got Kiln and Drax. Common Drax, he can field for free if you have different Guardian. And, ooh, the rare Kiln. Continuous. At the start of each player's turn, that player moves a character die from their field zone under the kiln. At the end of each player's turn, if there are 5 or more dice underneath the kiln, send it to the used pile and return all character dice under the kiln to the field zone. So, so you're going to play it. At the beginning of your opponent's turn, they're going to have to put a die underneath it, but they get to choose. And then your turn, you do it. Your opponent would do it. You would do it. And your opponent. So eventually, your opponent would have 3. And then you would have 2. But at the end of that player's turn, if there are 5 or more underneath the kiln, send it to the use pile. So on the end of your opponent's turn, that's when there should be 5. Unless, of course, they didn't have a character in the field or something got messed up along the way. Return all character dice under the kiln to the field zone. So at the end of that, they would just end up with 3 character dice in the field. I'm trying to figure out when I would want that to happen, but I'll have to think about that one off camera, I guess. Alright. And we have got Star-Lord and, oh, I think I know what that is. We've got a common Star-Lord. When fielded, Star-Lord deals 1 damage to target player. And, there it is. Groot Thor. So this is a what if character. It costs 1 of each energy, and is a super rare. You cannot use question marks to purchase this die, so you have to spend exactly 1 of each energy. And the text is, it's kind of small, because they have to fit a lot on there. When fielded, use a copy of each when fielded effect on every other character die in the field zone, including your opponent's character dice. Prevent all effects that would copy Groot Thor's abilities, even if he's not in the field zone. So definitely a possibility of making a team there that uses a lot of different when fielded and then triggering them all at the same time. Alright, pretty interesting. Okay, we've got the collector, and we've got, I believe that is Dum Dum Dugan. Alright, common collector. Well, he's right there. Seen that one. And uncommon Dum Dum Dugan, who gets +1 attack for each of your sidekick dice in the field zone. So Foot Ninja was +1/+1, but it was a 3 cost and only max 3. So for a 2 cost, you get +1 if you get a bunch of sidekicks in the field zone. That shouldn't count allies because it does say sidekick dice specifically, not sidekick characters. You could probably make that one pretty strong if allies were involved. Alright, so we've already gotten 2 super rares. We're probably not going to get another one. We've got Ghost Rider, we've got Rocket Raccoon. Common Rocket Raccoon, when he attacks, he gains fast. And uncommon Ghost Rider, he can block 2 character dice if he's the only one in the field. So, alright, we've got Nowhere. We really like that one to be the rare one. And we've got another Cosmo Space Dog. Alright, we've got a common Cosmo Space Dog. When fielded, he can be KO'd to prevent all damage. And we've got the uncommon Nowhere, but it's a foil this time. Some of the arts lend themselves to being foiled better. I don't think this one is as exciting. Alright. Okay, Squirrel Girl and the Spot, right? One of our first packs. I think it was the first pack even. So the Spot, 2 cost with Infiltrate. I'm gonna need that with Angela there. So 2 cost shield, infiltrate so that it can attack and deal damage and then come right back. Uncommon Squirrel Girl, at the beginning of your clear and draw step, field a 1/1 squirrel token. Pretty cool. And then global, pay a fist, redirect 1 damage dealt by a character die you control to target character die. Redirect 1 damage dealt by a character die you control to target character die. I guess, oh, well, that could be interesting in Infiltrate. If you're dealing damage with Infiltrate, you could then redirect it to a character die instead of to your opponent if you needed to. She costs 1 more than the promo Squirrel Girl, but she can get infinite tokens out. Alright, another Nowhere, another Madam Web. Alright, and it's common Nowhere this time. So they cost 1 more, kind of like Rip Hunter, we saw that one. And then the rare Madam Web, you got at least a rare in there. You may pay 2 when she attacks. If you do, all opposing character dice must block her. So just as soon as they come out with that cool combo with Black Bolt and and Black Widow this time instead of Medusa, Madam Web just makes it all redundant. Just do that, get the same thing. Alright, we have got Nova Corps Uniform and Quasar. I think we've still only seen the common Quasar. So we've got another copy of that one. And the uncommon Nova Corps Uniform this time, when fielded, equipped to a character die, that character takes no damage from villain character dice or global abilities. If that character die leaves the field zone, send this die to the use pile. So another interesting equip effect, specifically targeting villains. But I guess with all the villain stuff they're making, they're going to have to put some villain hate in too. Alright, and just like that, another Nova Corps Uniform and a Rocket Raccoon. We've got the common this time. That should be the last one. Equipped to a character die. That character die gets +2/+2. And if that character die leaves the field zone, send this die to the use pile, just like all the other ones. This time we've got a foil Rocket Raccoon. I feel like he looks chubbier in this picture. It's interesting art for him there. All right, we've got another spot and another nebula. So common nebula this time. While nebula is active, when your opponent draws dice during their clear and draw step, you may return one of those dice to their bag. If you do, they draw a die from their bag. So it sounds like the order of this sort of is not in your favor. You get to return a die, and then they get to draw. So there's always a chance they just draw the same one that you just put back in there. But maybe you get a chance to get rid of something. All right, another common spot, cheap infiltrate character. All right, Norman Osborn and Captain America. We have got the common Norman Osborn. Makes villains cheaper to field. And the uncommon Captain America, the end of your attack step. If Captain America was blocked but not KO'd, he deals damage equal to his attack to target opponent. That sounds like Obelisk the Tormentor, but significantly easier to purchase and get out. So you have to be able to deal at least 4 or 5 damage to him, or you're going to take the damage anyway. But at least at level 1, his attack is only 2, so you can always buff it, I suppose. That could lead to some interesting combos. Alright, we have got a Captain Marvel. This is the common this time. Instead of being KO'd, when fielded, gain 1 life. And then the uncommon Adam Warlock. When he is KO'd by combat damage, move any character dice that damaged him this turn to his card. When fielded, return those character dice to their owner's field zone at the same level. There's got to be a cool combo where you do that and then just put him back on his card so that you never have to worry about fielding him ever again. Just capture all those dice. All right, another double one, and we have not seen this one yet. So we're going to get 2 for 1 here, and this one is Ronan the Accuser. So the common Ronan the Accuser, he gets +2 attack if there are no other dice in your field zone. Oh, when fielded, he gets +2 attack. So I guess you could field him before you fielded anything else, but for 7 cost. And then the rare foil, interesting, 8 cost. Wow, that is more expensive than we've seen in a long time. When fielded, move all villain character dice to Ronan the Accuser's character card until end of turn. Return them to the field zone at the same level. Boy, that could really mess up your opponent if they were playing villains, but at 8 cost, that's hard to deal with. If we had a villain maker, I think that would be even better, but that would just make Norman Osborn better too. Move all villain character dice to his card until end of turn. Return them to the field zone at the same level. Maybe there's a way to limited wish him in and use that ability. Alright, we've got another new die here, and we've got Cosmic Cube. And we've got the common Cosmic Cube again. So you can send it and other dice out of play, and you can draw dice for them. And we've got, oh, Ricochet. The rare Ricochet with Infiltrate. Always like to see Infiltrate now that I've got Angela. While active, each time one of your character dice uses Infiltrate, draw a die from your bag and add it to your prep area. Well, man, if we could use Angela and Ricochet and rare Black Widow, we could do 2 damage each time and prep a die. That's not a bad idea. Alright, we've got Kiln and we've got... Here's that one. Just say, I'm still looking for the common Kiln, and here we go. Need that for Satchel there. So common Kiln, continuous. Players must spend 1 more to purchase each character die for every character die in their field zone. So you feel like that could probably start to stack pretty brutally. But if your team isn't focused on it, maybe it doesn't matter. Alright, and this one is a Madame Mask, the uncommon. While Madame Mask is active, your opponent's when fielded abilities do not trigger. So we've got Angela to prevent when attacks abilities, and Madame Mask to prevent when fielded abilities, or you could just use Wonder Woman for 1 more to prevent them both. I guess if you're only worried about one of them, you could save yourself an energy. Alright, we've already got all the Thanos. I think we're missing 1 spot. So we've got the common Thanos this time. that blanks villains, and like there we go, the uncommon spot. That should be all the spots there. While the spot is active, whenever you draw and roll a die outside your clear and draw step, excluding from his ability, okay? They're trying to prevent the infinite combo there. Draw and roll an extra die. So now when you use Superhero Registration Act, you get 3 or 4 dice. That's pretty interesting. Or relaxing. Or anything that lets you roll on your turn. Alright. What was that one? That was Nova Prime. It's the common again. When fielded, prevent all damage to this die till end of turn. And we've got the rare Captain Marvel this time. While Captain Marvel is active, whenever one of your sidekick dice is KO'd by an opposing character, an opponent's global ability, or an opponent's action die, return that sidekick to play at level 1. So, we already had another one that dealt with preventing your sidekicks from being targeted or killed by globals or actions, but this is just, if they get KO'd at all, return that sidekick to play at level 1. A little expensive if you need it for protection, but make sure you've always got them in play, I guess. Alright, we have got Dum Dum Dugan and we've got Black Widow again. It's the common Black Widow this time with Call Out, and the common Dum Dum Dugan this time. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Someone's probably mad at me if I'm not. When he would be KO'd, I can instead KO a sidekick die and return him to the field. Well, not return to the field even, just clear damage from him. He never even leaves the field. Alright, we've got Kiln. I believe we've got all the Kilns now, and we've got Squirrel Girl. Alright, common Squirrel Girl with Infiltrate. And the uncommon Kiln, randomly select a character die. I almost want to play it, just to, or at least see somebody play it, just to see how they go about doing that. I guess you could roll a die, or you could pick a random number. Alright, Sword Agent, and I believe that was Moondragon. So we've got common Moondragon, and we've had her again, so when one of your characters is targeted by an action, you spin her up, and the common Sword Agent, who gets +1 defense. Sorry, my extras pile is starting to come into frame now. I think I need to readjust. Alright, that looks better. Alright, Madam Web and Madam Mask. Oh, we got a whole Madam pack here. So, common Madam Mask. Your character can't be targeted by globals. I mean, they're not going to do something as good as that Rare Raven, but that's still pretty good. It doesn't target just your masks or anything. Same cost as Raven. And then the uncommon Madam Web, when she attacks, move target opposing character die to her character card until end of turn. So it's sort of like an infiltrate ability, or not infiltrate ability, an intimidate ability. When she attacks, you get to sort of take a character away before they have a chance to block. Intimidate was out of play. It's interesting that they're using character cards now instead of just out of play. Okay, we've got a stick, and we have got a Adam Warlock. Alright, common Adam Warlock again. When fielded, it's triggered twice. Maybe I'll pair that up with that Groot Thor. And common stick. Can't be blocked by character dice of a lower level. Okay, we've got another Hulk. We already have the Hulks and the Ronin the Accuser. Alright, foil Hulk this time. It's sort of funny. It almost looks like he has kind of like a beard in his art when it gets blown up like that. Alright, and another common Ronin the Accuser who gets +2 if there's no other field characters in your field zone when he's fielded. Alright, Madam Web and Moondragon. I think we have all the Madam Webs now. That is a common Madam Web who gets +2/+2 if she blocks a villain, and an uncommon Moondragon this time. When you take damage, spin Moondragon up a level. So, that's kind of her theme there, getting spun up. My pile of dice here is starting to get pretty large. Alright, so we've got Gamora, we've got Cosmic Cube. We have got the common Gamora again. And we've got the uncommon. So this is the second time I think I've seen this. It's like they print it twice, and so the text is a little bit off. I saw this on my Black Widow as well. Just kind of looks like it's kind of shadowy text, but otherwise it seems okay. Your first action die costs 1 less, and each other different action you purchase this turn costs 3 less. I feel like you could do a lot with that. Maybe you won't even need Rare Riddler in Central anymore. It does, yeah, it is specifically actions and not basic actions, which is always nice to see. Alright, we have got oh, I just had this. Beta Ray Bill. Common again. I think we've only seen the common for him. And the uncommon Nebula. She has Infiltrate. So another Infiltrate character. I think we still haven't managed to pull enough Infiltrate characters, and maybe they don't exist, to make a full Infiltrate team. Maybe there aren't enough. There we go. Alright, Captain America and another Nebula. Although we have all 3 Nebulas. And so we've got the common Nebula here. I feel like every time I say we have all 3 of a character, I just pull the common again. Probably should just stop doing that. The one that lets you put a die back in your opponent's bag when they draw, and the uncommon Captain America, who, if he's not KO'd when he's blocked, deals his damage. We probably won't draw the super rare Captain America, but you never know. Maybe this has got 3 in it. Okay, we've got Ricochet, and we've got Gamora. Looks like, I don't know if you can see that. It looks like the Ricochet missing a little orange there. I can't really see. Alright, another common Gamora, but it's foil this time. That's pretty neat. A lot going on in the background on that one. It looks good in the foil detail. And we've got the common Ricochet, which has Infiltrate. I don't think we've pulled this one. But a pretty cheap Infiltrate character there. Alright, Yellow Jacket, and I always forget this one, Captain Marvel. Alright, so we've got all the Captain Marvels, and this is the common. And we've got the uncommon foil Yellow Jacket. When he attacks, you may spin him down a level, and he's unblockable. So, I have seen that one. Alright, we got another Hulk, and another Agent Venom. And it's another common Hulk. And another... Yeah, I feel like this is happening a lot with the foils. And once again, it's hard. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there, but it's like the text down here on the foil versions is just slightly off, and so it looks like it's sort of kind of shadowed. I mean, there's not really a lot going on besides black on the art here. I'm not sure that the foil matters so much, but... Alright, we have got Stick, and we have got Dum Dum Dugan. And we've got another common Dum Dum Dugan, and we've got another common Stick. I think we've seen enough of those. Alright, we haven't seen Ironheart in a while, and the Yondu. So the common Yondu again deals 1 damage to all opposing character when fielded, and rare foil Ironheart. The sky background is pretty nice when it's shiny there. While you have an active Avengers character, you may field Ironheart for free, which is pretty good with her 1, 2, 3 fielding cost. While you have at least 2 different active Avengers characters, Ironheart gets +1/+1. That's pretty good. You're making a single affiliation team. You might want to include that one. She is an Avenger too, so that works. Sort of assuming that's a girl. I don't know much about Ironheart. Alright, got Agent Venom, and we've got Madam Mask. So, common Agent Venom, seen plenty of him. Uncommon Madam Mask, when fielded ability, your opponent's when fielded ability is not triggered. I guess the benefit of Madam Mask and Angela is that they only affect your opponent, instead of all of them like Wonder Woman does. Alright, another Yondu and another Moon Dragon. So, common Moon Dragon, When one of your character dice is targeted by an action die, spin her up a level, and the common Yondu again, but it's foil. This one doesn't seem to have that weird misprint issue. Alright, Nova Corps uniform and Nebula. I think we've got all three of those, both of those. Yep. So there's an uncommon Nebula and a common Nova Corps uniform. All right, I can see the bottom. I don't know how many there are exactly, but we're getting down there. All right, so that was Ronan the Accuser. Look, he's right there on top, and we've got another Squirrel Girl. I think we still need the rare. Oh. Well, spoiler alert, another common Ronan the Accuser, but the rare Squirrel Girl this time. Well, that's nice. We got all three of her. When she's blocked, she deals X damage to the defending player, where X is her attack minus the number of blocking dice your opponent has declared this turn. Interesting. So it's not Overcrush, because it's not about her attack versus their defense. It's just about the number of dice. But that means you're sort of forcing them to either take damage or block with at least 3 or 4 characters. Unless, of course, you buff their attack, in which case you could make them take quite a lot of damage if they're not using all their characters. Maybe combined with Call Out, you could do probably some interesting stuff there. Alright, we got Nowhere, and we've got Captain Marvel. And we're really hoping for that rare Nowhere this time. So this is the common Captain Marvel, where you gain 1 life, and it's the common Nowhere again. Unfortunate. This is the one where dice cost 1 more, and they place below this, and then you could send it to use to send all of your dice to crap. Alright, Cosmic Cube and Sword Agent. I think we just need the rare for both of those. So common Cosmic Cube. When you draw this from your bag, you may send it in any out of play. You get to draw dice for them. And then the common Sword Agent, or the uncommon, sorry, who gets +1 if another character die is attacking when he attacks. Or they attack? Not necessarily a he. Alright, Nova Corps uniform and Madam Web. We've got all of those. But we do get a foil Nova Corps common. That's pretty cool. Or Nova Corps uniform. Alright. I'd say we probably got fewer than 10. Alright, Yondu and Moondragon. Alright, common Moondragon again. I've seen plenty of those. And the uncommon Yondu, when fielded, deals 1 damage to your opponent for each of your active Guardian characters. So, we've seen that with some other kinds of characters, but this one specifically for Guardians, probably you want to include that if you're playing a Guardian team. Alright, Groot and Yellow Jacket. So, common Groot. So that means that Guardians cannot be targeted by globals or action dice, and the 2 pay 2 shields to gain a life. Oh, yellow. Yellow. It's a yellow stripe Yellow Jacket. Rare Yellow Jacket. When Yellow Jacket is targeted, you may spin him down a level and cancel that effect. And it does just say targeted. It doesn't say anything about whether it's an action or a global, so any kind of targeting, and he gets to spin down and cancel it. I wonder if you could... I guess you could target him if you needed to spin him down for a reason. Maybe you need to spin him up again. Alright, we've got Kiln and we've got Star-Lord. Probably not going to get the super rare Star-Lord. Alright, so common Kiln again. And we do need that one, but we've already got it. So it makes your opponent spend more. Oh, players, all players, sorry, not just your opponent, spend 1 more to purchase character dice for every character die. And the foil uncommon Star-Lord, who has Infiltrate. Alright, 4 more. So 4 more after this. I do have 20 packs after this feed, but we'll set the feed aside so we can get the stats for it. We've got another Kiln and another Ghost Rider. We've got all 3 of both of those. And we've got the 2 commons this time. Alright, we've got Nova Corps uniform and Nebula, but once again, we've got all 3 of those. I think we actually, the last time we pulled these, we'd already had all 3 of them either. Uncommon Nova Corps uniform and the common Nebula. Alright, we have got a Star-Lord and a Beta Ray Bill. Alright, common Star-Lord, deal 1 damage when fielded, and uncommon Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill, oh finally, we've seen the common plenty of times. The uncommon only takes 1 damage from each source. Wow, if you really needed to remove him for some reason, that would be tough. He's got 6, 7, and 8 defense. I mean, he's got a decent attack. I wonder why that would become useful. Alright, last pack in the feed. And what's inside? We've got Ricochet and... Oh, I know this, I know this, I know this. No, I don't. It's the Collector. Alright, common Collector again. We only saw the common and the uncommon. When you field a villain, draw a die and prep it. And the uncommon Ricochet, when blocked, KO target opposing sidekick. I think that actually completes Ricochet for us. We got all 3 of them finally. So KO target sidekick when blocked. For a 2 cost, maybe that's pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to move everything off to the side. I know it's still a little bit on screen, but we'll be alright there. And then I still have 20 packs. We'll put them in separate piles. So, starting us off here. Oh my goodness. I believe that is another What If. And that one, we've got the common Quasar, and it is Captain Britain Iron Man. Wow, right off the bat. That worked out pretty well. So, it's not a third one from the Gravity feed, but it's from the extra packs I bought. Captain Britain Iron Man, a What If character. So, once again, 4 energy, 1 of each type, and a question mark. You can't use question marks to purchase it. While Captain Britain Iron Man is active, whenever you field a character die or use a basic action die, you may purchase a copy of that die for up to 3 less. So if you field a character, you can now buy one for 3 less, or if you use a basic action, you can now buy one for up to 3 less. So defensive stats, not great. It's hard to read there, but it's a 2, 3, 3, but 4, 5, and 7 attack. So it'd be kind of hard to keep it in the field. I'm not sure how I would use this yet exactly, but certainly a possibility. Alright. So, we'd be pretty lucky if we got another one in here, but let's see what we've got. That should be another Daisy Johnson and another Squirrel Girl. We've got the common Squirrel Girl and the uncommon Daisy Johnson, which we haven't seen yet. I don't think we saw very many Daisy Johnsons at all, maybe only 1 or 2. When Daisy Johnson attacks, you may pay up to 3 shields. For each shield you pay, Daisy Johnson deals 1 damage to all other character dice. Wow, that does include your own, but yeah, that could be a pretty good job. And it's when attacked, so you can do that before your opponent declares blockers. I think I agree with Double Burst, guys, that would be pretty good on a shield ring team. Alright, Cosmo Space Dog and Stick. Looks like I think we just need the rare for these, but we've got the common Cosmo Space Dog again, and the uncommon Stick, who has Call Out. So when he attacks, you can call out a character, and they have to, either they block it or nobody blocks it. Alright, we have got the Collector and Ghost Rider again, common Collector again, and uncommon Ghost Rider. With that same printing, I don't know if you can see that on the camera very well, but it's just a little bit, the text looks like a little too big, like they've sort of missed it with the foil pass or something. Alright, we have got Madame Mask and Nova Prime. So, common Madame Mask. While she's active, your opponent can't use, your character dice cannot be carded by globals. And the uncommon Nova Prime, when they block, you may pay 1 to prevent all damage to it. So, we got that Ironheart, and we've got Moondragon. And it is the common Ironheart with Call Out, and the common, at least foil, but common Moondragon again. Alright, and another Moondragon, and another Nebula. Maybe, yeah, you see like I do that. Alright, it's common Nebula, and the, rare Moondragon. I don't know how good it is, but it is nice to have all three of a character. While Moondragon is active, when you field a Guardian character die, spin all your Guardian character dice up 1 level. So yeah, definitely gonna be helpful on a Guardian team if you're going that route. Probably end up making a couple of single affiliation teams for fun. All this new stuff. All right, we got Gamora and we've got Captain Marvel, and we got common Gamora and the uncommon Captain Marvel. The one gets, you gain 1 life when she's KO'd. Alright, Squirrel Girl and Captain America. It seems like some of the swirl, like there's no red on this face at all. Okay. Common Captain America with Intimidate, but he can't use it on, or he can only use it on villains. And the common Squirrel Girl and I feel like I'm going to confuse Infiltrate and Intimidate a lot because they sound so similar. But Infiltrate, they deal the damage when they go unblocked. Infiltrate or Intimidate means they get removed from the field for the turn. Alright, we got Drax and we've got the Nova Corps uniform. Alright, common Nova Corps uniform and the uncommon Drax. While active once per turn, if another character is KO'd, he gets +3 attack. Alright, we're about halfway through these. Alright, that is Captain Marvel and I haven't seen that one in a while. So we got Captain Marvel, common, when fielded gain a life, and Mantis, that was it. The uncommon, when Mantis is KO'd, draw a die from your bag and add it to your prep area. Alright, Nova Prime and Star-Lord. Alright, common Nova Prime, when fielded prevent all damage, and uncommon Star-Lord with Infiltrate. Alright, that is the Space Dog and the Madam Web. Alright, common Madam Web gets +2/+12, she blocks a villain, and uncommon Cosmo Space Dog gives all your other Guardians +1 defense. Alright, we got a Hulk and we've got a Daisy Johnson. And we've got the common Hulk again. Seen that one a few times. And the uncommon Daisy Johnson, the one that you can pay 3 shields and you can deal up to that many damage to every other character die. Alright, Drax and Madam Web. Common Drax, who can be fielded for free if you have a different active Guardian, and the uncommon, who when she attacks, you move an opposing character to her card until end of turn. Alright, Daisy Johnson and Madam Web. And we've got the common Daisy Johnson with Aftershock, deal 2 damage to all of the character dice, and the common foil Madam Web. I don't think we've seen the common foil, maybe. Alright, we've got Nowhere. Alright, cross your fingers. And Mantis. And we have common Mantis. When fielded, draw a die and add it to your prep area. I think that's just Zatanna from the Justice League starter. Fielding costs seem the same. I think her stats are a little bit lower in attack. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just strictly better than Zatanna was. And we did get it. The rare Nowhere. So it's a 3-cost action. You may swap any character in your used pile or field zone for an unpurchased character die costing 1 more. Character die swapped in the field zone stay on the same level. Alright, well, we're definitely going to be playing around with that. Maybe we'll get that 7 or 8 cost out onto the field. Alright, we got Stick and we've got Dum Dum Dugan. Common Dum Dum Dugan again, and ooh, rare stick this time. When stick is blocked, deal 2 damage to each die blocking him before damage is dealt. If this KOs every blocking die, stick is unblocked. So yeah, you're gonna have some 3 defense or higher to block him. And if he's a level 3, he's a 6/3 unblocked. Can't do that too many times. Not too bad. All right, we have